Once upon a time, there lived a mother pig and her 3 cute little pigs in a remote mountain village. Mother Pig worked very hard to take care of her 3 little pigs, but as time went by, she realized that the little pigs had grown up and should live independently. So, one night, the Mother Pig invited the 3 little pigs to her home for a family meeting. Children, you have grown up and should start your own life. When you build your own house, you can move out, said Mummy Pig. None of the 3 little pigs wanted to move out, let alone build their own house. But they also knew they had to listen to their mother. So, they started wondering what kind of house they would like. The boss made the first move. No. He first carried a lot of straw, chose an open space, built a simple straw house in the middle, and then tied the bundles with straw ropes. Ha! I have my own house. The boss jumped for joy. Tana. The eldest brother moved into his new home the next day, and the second and third children came to visit out of curiosity. The second child said, "Third brother, look at the eldest brother's house. It is too simple. I want to build a beautiful and comfortable house." The second child ran to the mountain and cut down a lot of wood and came back, sawing it into planks and strips. There was a constant clanking. Soon, the second child also built his own wooden house. Obviously, this is much prettier and stronger than the boss's. The second child soon moved to his new home, and the eldest brother and the third child also came to visit. The eldest son was full of praise and felt that his house was too simple. The third son looked at it and said, "The house I built will be better." The third child came home and thought about it, and finally decided to build a house made of bricks and stones, because this kind of house is very strong and not afraid of wind and rain, but it requires a lot of effort. The third child would get up early and stay up late every day, carrying back stones piece by piece, piling them aside, and then building walls piece by piece. The brothers joked on the sidelines, only fools would do this. The younger brother ignored it and continued to work day and night. The brothers took a break, but he kept doing it. After 3 months of this, the third child's new house was also built. He is so happy. One day, a big wild wolf came. The boss hid in his straw house in panic. The wild wolf sneered twice and blew the straw house down. The boss had no choice but to run away. The eldest brother ran straight to the second brother's house and shouted, "Second brother, open the door quickly! Help!" The second brother opened the door and saw a big wild wolf chasing after him. He quickly let the eldest brother into the house and closed the door. The big bad wolf chased him to the door and stopped, thinking, "Do you think a wooden house can stump me?" He slammed towards the door time and time again. With a crash, the wooden house was knocked down. The 2 brothers fled to the third child's house desperately and breathlessly told the third child what had happened. The third child first closed the doors and windows tightly and then said confidently, "Don't be afraid. It's no problem." The big bad wolf stood in front of the door. He knew that there were 3 little pigs in the house, but he didn't know how to get in. He could only resort to the old technique of blowing at the door, but to no avail. The wild wolf was a little anxious, so he hit it hard again. With a dang sound, the wild wolf felt like stars were popping up in his eyes, and when he looked at the house again, he didn't move at all. The wild wolf was really anxious and turned around to find a hammer. The wild wolf held back his strength and swung the big hammer and struck it. Unexpectedly, the handle of the hammer broke, and the hammer bounced back and hit the wild wolf on the head. "It hurts me so much," the wild wolf shouted. He was really at his wits' end. The wolf returned angrily. He circled around the house and finally climbed onto the roof. He wanted to slip in through the chimney. After the third child discovered it from the window, he immediately lit a fire. The wolf fell into the stove and was so smoked that his whole tail was burnt. He howled and ran away with his tail between his legs, never daring to trouble the 3 little pigs again. From then on, the 3 little pigs lived a happy and peaceful life. They learned about diligence and wisdom and understood the importance of perseverance. Their house has also become a model in the mountain village, attracting many other animals to learn from it. And the big wild wolf never appeared near the mountain village again and seemed to be frightened. Shams. Itania, Astem Sawana, Wasta. Through this story, we understand that we must have a beginning and end in doing things and not give up easily. It tells us that we must have confidence, face difficulties bravely, and believe that we will be able to overcome all difficulties and realize our dreams.